InnerWhisper channel.
Can compassion truly transform your life? In every corner of the world, people are searching for strength. We chase success, control, and recognition, believing they will make us powerful. But real strength doesn't come from dominance or perfection, it comes from compassion. Compassion is not a soft emotion reserved for quiet people. It is a fierce and steady light, the courage to stay open when everything inside us wants to close. To be compassionate is to see suffering and choose not to turn away. It is to look into the eyes of pain, our own or someone else's, and say, "I see you." I care. That simple act changes everything. It breaks walls, melts pride, and creates a space where healing can begin. Compassion is not about fixing others. It's about being present. When someone is hurting, they don't need all the answers. They need your warmth, your understanding, your stillness. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do for another person is simply to listen without judging, without interrupting, without trying to rescue them from their truth. The beauty of compassion is that it starts with ourselves. Before you can pour kindness into the world, you must first learn to be kind to yourself. And yet, for many of us, self-compassion is the hardest lesson of all. We are often our own harshest critics. We replay our mistakes again and again, whispering words to ourselves that we would never say to anyone else. "I should have known better. I'm not enough. I'll never change." These words carve deep wounds that no one else can see. But what if you stopped fighting yourself? What if, for once, you spoke to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend? You would say, "It's okay. You're human. You're learning. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love." That is where compassion truly begins. In the quiet decision to forgive yourself for being human. When you learn to be gentle with your own heart, you begin to see others differently. You realize that everyone is fighting a silent battle. The person who snaps at you might be carrying years of pain. The one who seems cold might just be afraid. The one who disappoints you might be struggling in ways you cannot see. Compassion allows you to see beyond behavior and into the heart. It teaches patience when you're tempted to react. It teaches forgiveness when resentment feels easier. It teaches understanding when judgment comes naturally. And slowly, compassion reshapes your life. It softens your anger, quiets your fears, and brings a sense of peace that power or success never could. Because hate is heavy, anger is exhausting, judgment is poison, but compassion is freedom. The Buddha once said, "Hatred never ends through hatred. By love alone it ends." Those words are not just ancient wisdom, they are a daily truth. Every time you respond to cruelty with kindness, you are breaking a chain of pain that might have lasted generations. But compassion does not mean you let others walk over you. True compassion has boundaries. It means you can say no with love, protect yourself with dignity, and still wish others well. That is strength. Imagine what would happen if we lived in a world where people acted from compassion instead of fear. A world where kindness was not a weakness, but a daily practice. Where listening replaced arguing. Where understanding replaced judgment. That world begins with you. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, ripples outward. A gentle word, a patient moment, a smile to a stranger. You never know how deeply those things can heal someone's day. And compassion doesn't always look like grand gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as sending a message to someone who's been quiet, or forgiving someone who never apologized, or forgiving yourself for not knowing better sooner. Love is not an emotion that appears magically. It is a discipline, a habit of the heart. Every day you choose to act with compassion, you are building that habit. And with time, it becomes who you are. Even science now confirms what ancient wisdom has known for centuries. Compassion changes the brain. It lowers stress, strengthens the immune system, improves emotional well-being, and deepens our sense of purpose. But more than that, it changes how we see the world. When you practice compassion, you begin to notice life differently. You stop seeing people as problems to fix and start seeing them as souls to understand. You stop rushing past moments and start noticing the beauty that's always been there, the laughter of a child, the kindness of a stranger, the soft rhythm of your own breath. You realize that compassion isn't something you do, it's something you become. And in that becoming, you find peace, not the kind of peace that comes from escaping life, but the peace that comes from embracing it fully, just as it is. And if you want to walk this journey of reflection and growth together, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Your presence here means more than you know. Together, let's spread a little more love in a world that truly needs it. Compassion begins when we stop separating ourselves from others. When we stop saying, "That's not my problem," and start realizing that their pain, in some way, touches our shared humanity. It is not weakness, it is strength in its most profound form. Compassion asks us to listen, not to reply, but to understand, to open our hearts when it's easier to close them, to forgive when anger feels justified. When we live with compassion, the world begins to soften. We become less reactive, more patient, more aware of how interconnected everything is. Imagine a world where people paused before judging, where kindness wasn't a transaction, but a way of being. That's the world compassion builds, one gentle act at a time. True compassion doesn't mean allowing others to hurt you. It's not blind tolerance. It's clarity, seeing things as they are, without bitterness. It's knowing when to let go, when to walk away with love instead of resentment. Compassion says, "I wish you peace, even if I must step away." It's easy to love when others are kind, but the real test of compassion is how we treat those who hurt us, disappoint us, or disagree with us. The greatest souls in history, from the Buddha to Mother Teresa, understood this truth. Compassion isn't a reaction. It's a choice, a conscious decision to respond with love where the world expects hate. When you practice compassion daily, your energy changes. People feel safer around you. You start to notice joy in small things, the warmth of sunlight on your face, the laughter of a child, the smile of a stranger. Compassion roots you in the present moment. It dissolves loneliness because it reminds you you are not alone. Compassion also extends inward. You cannot truly love others if you are cruel to yourself. Forgive your past mistakes. Speak gently to your inner voice. Replace "I'm not enough" with "I'm learning." I'm growing. I'm healing every time you choose self-compassion. You refill the well from which all kindness flows. When we cultivate compassion, we transform pain into wisdom. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we ask, "What can this teach me?" Instead of clinging to bitterness, we learn to release it. Compassion isn't about fixing everything, it's about sitting with what is and saying, "Even here, love is possible." Look around. The world is full of opportunities to practice compassion. A kind word to someone who's struggling. A message to a friend who's been distant. A moment of patience when you're stuck in traffic. Each small act ripples outward in ways you may never see. But the energy you give returns, multiplied. If you want to change the world, start by being kind in your corner of it. Let compassion be your compass. Let it guide how you speak, how you act, how you see others. And slowly, the world will reflect the love you carry inside. Compassion is not something you switch on and off. It's a way of moving through life. It's how you breathe, how you see, how you respond. When compassion becomes your foundation, everything changes. Your relationships grow deeper. Your purpose becomes clearer. Even challenges transform into lessons rather than punishments. You begin to see that life is not a competition, but a connection. Everyone you meet, the kind and the cruel, the happy and the lost, is teaching you something about yourself. Compassion turns every encounter into an opportunity to understand, to forgive, and to grow. When we live with compassion, we begin healing not only ourselves, but also those around us. You never know how far a simple act of kindness can reach: a smile, a small gesture, a moment of listening. It might be the light someone needs to find their way through the darkness. Compassion also teaches balance. You can care deeply without losing yourself. You can give without being drained. True compassion includes boundaries, knowing when to say yes and when to rest. You can't pour from an empty cup. So, nurture yourself as much as you nurture others. Your love is most powerful when it comes from wholeness, not exhaustion. There's a quiet strength in compassion. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply exists, steady, patient, unwavering. It shows up in how you speak to others, how you handle conflict, how you treat the world. And over time, it becomes your nature. Imagine if everyone lived with that awareness. Imagine communities built on empathy instead of ego, on love instead of fear. That is the real revolution, not one of force, but of compassion. A shift in the human heart that says, we rise by lifting each other. So today, start small. Smile more. Listen deeply. Forgive quickly. Speak kindly. Let your words and actions leave a trace of warmth wherever you go. Be the person who makes others feel seen, safe, and valued. Because compassion is contagious once shared. It multiplies endlessly. And remember, compassion isn't just for others. It's for you. For every mistake you've made, every wound you carry, every moment you doubted your worth. You deserve the same gentleness you offer to others. So, breathe deeply. Let go of guilt. Forgive yourself. Begin again. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on how you can bring more compassion into your life for your family, your friends, and yourself. Share kindness in ways only you can. And before we end, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here, for listening, for choosing to grow. Even when life feels heavy, every time you choose love over anger, empathy over judgment, you help make the world a little brighter. If you found peace or inspiration in this message, please consider subscribing to this channel, leaving a comment, and sharing this video with someone who might need it. Together, we can create a ripple of compassion that reaches far beyond this moment. Take care of your heart. Be gentle with yourself. And remember, compassion is not a weakness. It's your greatest strength.